all know the story of Alfred Mutua and Lilian Nganga has been quite the confusing one. One, because of how it ended up with her going a legal route just to get out of that relationship. Two, all of the drama and the antics that have been brought up and dredged up by so many other people because of their end or the end of their relationship. And finally, how silent he has been about all of it. He hasn't physically or verbally said anything about the end of that relationship, or even how it got to that point. And Lilian Nganga has also been very mature about how she expresses herself. She's not brought him under fire. She's not dragged his name in the mud. All she said is, I wanted to leave that relationship, and that is that. But now it would seem that Alfred Mutua has decided to take a chance or take a stance on how this relationship ended. And according to what he says online, he actually does connote that maybe this is not even the first time that this has happened. Okay, he said, I look back and I realize that we unintentionally impose our visions onto our partners, never asking them what they wanted and deciding what we want, deciding whether we can meet it. In the quest for ultimate success, I slowly but surely choked the life out of us, and I gained the world, but I lost us. He continued to say, it bothered me that she didn't want to expand her boutique. It was also doing well, but I am the kind of man who doesn't know when to stop. I wanted the world, but at some point, you'll have to stop and let your partner be. He said many other things, including, my last relationship taught me that people who are sincerely predisposed to simple life, to sleeping and waking up to their partners, to going to small jobs, and its trifles, to raising kids, to going to church on Sunday, and later die as quietly as they lived, and that is okay.
My God.
And like me, she didn't want the world, didn't want the fame, didn't care for the money, not like I did. And in my oblivion, I would wake up at 3 a.m., sleep at 11, and get her all the good things that I thought she needed. But instead, I was taking away everything she needed. He does not stop there. He said, now I look back and I realize that sometimes I unintentionally impose. And that I think I've already said. And back to the question that I would ask myself looking at her was, how could you be satisfied with so little? I attribute it to the lack of vision, stroke mediocrity, stroke ignorance. In such moments, we forget that people are adults like us, that they also have their visions. There are partners who do not want an eccentric man or who do not want eccentric fame or wealth. They want money, but just don't know enough, but just enough to keep them comfortable. They may support you in your pursuits of the world, but they aren't a mini you. You gain the world and you lose your heart. I held the world, but I was empty. One day, the world comes tumbling down, and you will turn back home, hoping to find your partner as outstretching their arms, only to run into an empty hall. Yes, you will rebuild, but you need not have to if you strike a balance or if you found a balance. Believe me, you don't want to be alone in a stormy night. And
why is he being so poetic in the shade?
It is shade, absolutely but it is so poetic. Her to actual like mediocrity. I'm sorry, Ati.
So basically, what this man is saying,
she has settled for not just lack of vision and mediocrity and ignorance. He has also thrown her apart by saying that she wasn't ambitious like him. She didn't follow through like him. She just wanted to sleep and wake up whenever she wanted to and see his face. And yet he would be up at 3 o'clock in the morning in order to provide for her. And because, unfortunately, he couldn't drag her into his vision and he was okay with her living her mediocre life, he didn't realize when she slipped out of his hands, Alfred Mutua.
It's like corporate talk. It's corporate 4. You thought I was filling you? You thought I was feeling you a corporate, but let me tell you, that was such a proper read. It gave me chills because I'm thinking, why would you say, was it necessary?
Wow.
What was the reason? These
Wow.
people have moved on. She has married another man. She has done her memoir. She is doing great in life. She is living her best life. She has a son. You know, she's moved on with her life. Why are you still there throwing shade? At this point, drop movie. Drop Wimbo. Like, Giuliani should now use this clout and drop a song because there's no reason. There was no reason to do this. He didn't have to, but he did. And the question is why? Why Alfred? As in, sulipata job mpya. Like, what's happening? Who hurt you? It's clear
Clearly, Lilian.
he might have really loved her, but also let's remember, your vision is your own vision, okay? Even if you explain it to, if I come and explain my vision to you, you
I
won't
could never
get it.
understand it.
It's me who has, Yani, it's my burden that I have to bear.
But that doesn't
But she
mean,
was a very supportive partner, you know?
And that doesn't mean that simply because his vision was to make money and run after this world, doesn't mean that she was lazy simply because she didn't appeal to the same, I don't know, ideologies that he did. It's like, say, you know, it's like when a parent goes, yani unalala mpaka saa tano, enyewe President Kingston. It's like now calling Lilian a President Kingston. That all she did was sleep, not be ambitious, live her best life, and then he's like, baby, you expand your boutique. She's like, nah, I'm okay with what I have now.
You know what? It gives us an insight as to how the actual relationship was. You could tell he was he would impose his things on her. You know, ni wale wataweka pa kuulize, kwa nini unalala saizi badala uamke? Can't you see? Your age mates are in Dubai opening their shops. Why are you still over here? Why can't you use your position as First Lady of Machakos County to open a boutique? You know what? Maybe they had different interests. And also Lilian had this foundation that she had. She was doing good work. So you can't sit back and say that she wasn't ambitious. She is an ambitious woman. She has her own money. Like, she's good. So what Alfred is doing is just a smear campaign.
It really is.
Like, he has seen them thriving, and now he's like, nah. You ain't gonna do that. We're not doing that today.
Goddamn. Okay. That was a lot.
Hey, that was petty. That was very mhesh.
That was very petty. Guy, you don't have documents to sign? Oh, God.